Music is a higher revelation than all wisdom and philosophy. Ludwig van Beethoven. Today, we will discuss how music can physically alter our brainwaves, speech, and emotions. Music is something that everyone encounters every day. Whether you're at a concert, screaming the lyrics of your favorite song, or putting on your headphones to listen to music to really focus on the task that you're working on. It's a constant in everyone's lives that continuously alters the brain chemistry and nervous system. To truly understand how this works, we'll discuss three main ideas, all labeled after some very popular songs. First, how the brain can't stop the feeling of the rhythm. Second, how the neurological pathways in the brain can hit the road jack through melodies. And thirdly, how songs like Glimpse of Us can create emotions that can recharge our mental. As humans, we have an instinct to bop our heads to music, tap our feet, or even to hum to ourselves. In November of 2013, Steve Paulson, a radio producer, along with his colleagues, had their article published in a peer-reviewed journal titled Annals of the New York Academy of Sciences. It's mentioned that through music, the neurological pathways can connect. Through this connection, music can connect just like a modern-day Bluetooth device. This aligns with the brain and its connection to music, because no matter if you're physically moving your body or not, your brain is still functioning as the neurons in your brain are going off. This section explains how the brain reacts to music when everybody is listening to the same sound. The brain enters a hive-like mind behavior. When someone listens to a track with a constant beat, the body responds by responding to the song's beat through physical movement. This type of reaction is primitive and was a way for us modern day humans to communicate with our tribes. It's so hardwired in our brains that we physically and mentally can't stop the feeling. When we force ourselves to stay still when listening to music, our brain is still functioning and is still firing off the neurons. Music is so built into the human mind, it can quite literally take its own detour in the brain. In the case of strokes, people lose the ability to communicate. But with the help of music, it can bypass those blocked roads. Music can create a backdoor through overlapping structural framework of language and music. By the brain hitting the road and going through its own path, stroke patients who can't speak are able to sing to songs that they remember. Hit the Road Jack represents how music can take its own neural pathway to get to any blocked, damaged part of the brain. Harry N. Dunstan, an expert who works alongside the American Center for Puccini Studies, had his work published in a journal containing a series of articles called Notes in June of 2026. In this section, he mentions research showing that the brain's neurological pathways have distinct regions for both music and language. The chemistry of the sound and music can override our mind's rewarding center, which in turn helps regulate trauma and/or heavy emotions. Music can invoke many emotions, sadness, happiness, and even past and present memories. In Harry N. Dunstan's article published in Notes in June of 2025, we can use music to affect emotions. In our brains, sad music influences the brain to go deep into its neural activity, allowing for introspection. Emotional tracks such as Glimpse of Us, which is a predominantly sad track about reminiscing, are a perfect example of why music is a healing agent. The nucleus accumbens is triggered when one's favorite song plays, which dumps dopamine into the brain. Leigh Ribby, a professor at Northumbria University, who's in the field of cognitive neuroscience, in an issue that was published in the Healthcare Counseling and Psychotherapy journal in April 2024, mentions how the brain can physically react to music. In your brain, the nucleus accumbens is the main location responsible for reward. With it, dopamine can flow into the brain, which can change how you feel internally and externally. This makes it so that songs that are more upbeat provide more joy, while songs that are sad or awaken the introspectiveness part. This is why Glimpse of Us, a song primarily about chasing memories, can create an emotional release. On the other hand, brighter/happier songs force the mind to think about the future. One's holistic health can be healed through music, as mentioned in Christine Graff's article published in March of 2021 in Faces magazine. Following World War II, it was observed that many severely injured soldiers who listened to music were healing throughout. This reveals that the use of music can be used in some cases of severe trauma. Of course, the type of music varies from person to person. In the case of soldiers, who most likely listened to big band, jazz, orchestral music were the primary genres of music at the time. Most of the music then carried weight as the songs themselves encapsulated a distant memory. We have now understood some of the ways the brain can be healed through music. We have discussed three main parts which were labeled after very popular songs. First, how the brain can't stop the feeling of the rhythm. Second, how neurological pathways in the brain can hit the road jack. And thirdly, how songs like Glimpse of Us can create emotions that recharge our mental. In the end, music is a powerful healing tool. Through melodies and rhythm, one can experience a healthy body and soul.